Hi, welcome to On the Volley, or as we like to be known, OTV, where we talk about all things football. Now, we're going to be covering today the Premiership, and I think we're going to start off with Manchester City, Arsenal. Now, whoever's been following us knows I'm an Arsenal supporter, and Matt,
I'm a City fan.
is a Man City fan, so obviously he's very happy they won 5-0.
Pretty much.
Well, nobody expected anything different, Matt. I mean, you were saying to me earlier on, you thought that Man City would score 5 goals, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, not just me actually. I think my cousin also predicted 4-0. I thought actually if Arsenal scored first, it might be a bit of a different game. But as soon as City went 1-0, I think there was only ever one outcome in that game.
Let me ask you a question. When you saw our lineup, when you saw our three centre backs, what did you think? I mean, we're talking about Holding, Chambers, and Kolasinac,
Yeah.
who hasn't played in God knows how long.
Yeah. Well, I think he obviously went with back three with two wing backs. Tierney had a good game actually early on. I think obviously that changed on 30 odd minutes when Xhaka got sent off for a 2-foot challenge.
Which was a straight red for me, yeah. Okay.
It's a straight red, even if he doesn't make contact, because Cancelo has to jump over him basically to get out of the way of the 2-foot challenge. He's off his feet. I think it is fair enough. It's red card. It's been given as a red card for a number of years now.
How can you make a challenge like that when you're a professional? I mean, you know the rules, okay? Look, the fact that Xhaka has made that tackle and he's been sent off does not surprise me in the slightest. What I can't understand is that he was supposed to be going. We were supposed to be selling him, okay? He wasn't even supposed to be there. What happens is it didn't go through, okay, and we reward him with a new contract. We increase his wages and we give him the captain's armband. And that's how he leads by example.
I think it's the 11th red card he's had in his career.
It is 11th, yeah.
Yeah, obviously that's not a great record for any player. Whether he gets rushes of blood to the head or whether it's just basically he's given up on the game, so he's just going to play his own game. Obviously, Arsenal were 2-0 down at that point. I think the game was pretty much over in anyone else's mind, other than probably the most ardent Arsenal fans. I didn't see Arsenal getting back into it. I mean, to be honest, it's not just Saka, is it? It's the whole team. They don't play with a lot of heart. They don't play with a lot of conviction in the manager's instructions, maybe, but also for each other. They just seem to be a collection of very well-paid professionals who don't really have any heart in Arsenal anymore, and that's odd for Arsenal. They used to look like a proper team that went out and fought for each other. And I've just not seen that for a number of years now with Arsenal.
Look, Matt, it hasn't been there for a number of years. You're absolutely right. Look, the way I see it at the moment, okay, is our main problem is Mikel Arteta. And on one of my podcasts, which was titled, Arteta to be sacked, I did say that I had originally predicted that we would beat Brentford.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. So this podcast was after that prediction, and I said that on that podcast, that's why I predicted. It didn't happen, and I predicted that we would not beat Chelsea and we would not beat Manchester City, and that we would end up at the end of August on 0 points. We are bottom of the league.
Yeah, and that's embarrassing for Arsenal. Longest surviving team in the top flight, for them to be bottom of the league. And not score a goal as well. That's
in 3 games, exactly.
Yeah, that's one major.
Conceding 9.
Yeah. I mean, obviously 5 of them against City, it skews it a little bit, but 2-0 the first 2 games against Brentford, who I thought played very well, and hassled Arsenal into that result.
Our defence is a shambles.
Yeah, well, I don't think they fight for each other, and I think that's Arsenal's problem.
So basically, what you're saying is they're not playing for Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, I think we both said this throughout the summer and previous, probably towards the end of last year as well, when we were saying is Arteta the right man for the job? I think he's a good coach. He's a really good coach. He's obviously been under Guardiola at City. Assistant manager, basically, the guy that Pep Guardiola turned to during his period at Man
He
City.
was the number 2. Okay, I mean, people used to take the mickey and say he's a cone carrier. Okay, and I think that's a little bit disrespectful. But he came into a job which was far, far too big for him. Look, it's no use me ranting and raving. Okay, right? We knew what was going to happen. Most of the Arsenal fan base knew what was going to happen. Listen, Mesut Ozil tweeted, "Trust the process." Okay, right? And I mean, I agree with him. Okay, it's a joke. But what really gets me is that the Qatari royal family, Al Thani, who the rumour is they want to buy Arsenal, they want to make an offer for Arsenal, he tweeted, "What is the solution with Arsenal? Till when?" Now, again, this is another cryptic tweet on his part. Basically, my message to Al Thani is leave out the cryptic tweets, okay? If you're going to do it, then go and put your money where your mouth is. Go and make an offer to buy it. His brother, apparently, okay, the owner of PSG, said wait until the end of the season. Maybe the reason they want to wait until the end of the season is because they honestly believe that the price, the value of the club, will be lower. And the way we're going, I honestly think it will be. We flirted with the relegation zone last season. This season, I think we'll be in and around the relegation zone if they do not change our manager. And we can talk about, we're missing Gabriel, we're missing Partey, okay, right, Aubameyang's only just come in, okay, Lacazette, okay, you can put all the excuses you want under the sun. But we're talking about the same players.
The team not playing for each other is very different, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the same players that finished 8th last season and the season before.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I mean, I totally agree. I think actually, this international break, I'm actually surprised that today, we're doing this on Sunday, so I'm surprised that we've not already heard that Arteta's been removed from that position. It gives them 2 weeks to essentially find a new manager. I'm not sure really what's. They must have been looking prior to this. They must know Arteta will need replacing if he gets into a situation where Arsenal are looking at the moment like relegation fodder, because that team is not playing anywhere near the level of football that is required to stay in the Premier League.
Exactly, and it wouldn't surprise me if in the next 2 weeks we change our manager. But time will tell.
And then the manager's got a relatively easy game against Norwich at home as their opening fixture, which it just seems like that's the right time to do it. And
as our first return after the the international break, our first fixture, yeah.
So it gives them time, maybe not much time to work with the players, but it at least gets time for people to get used to the idea that Arteta's not there as manager anymore. It's not for me to say whether Arteta should get sacked or not. A lot of City fans that I know would have him back in a snap at City as assistant coach. I doubt it would go back into an assistant coach role under Guardiola. But I think my brother said this. He said basically, Arteta's trying to play Guardiola football with Burnley players, which I thought was an insult to Burnley players, considering how Burnley players fight for each other, and Arsenal players just don't seem to have any fight whatsoever.
I agree.
But that is the situation that Arsenal are in at the moment. They need to get a manager in who can whip up that. They've got some talent in that team.
Absolutely.
It's just whether or not they've got any heart to play football.
Well, look at Thomas Tuchel and see what he's done with the same players at
Chelsea.
At Chelsea, that says all. Look, I think Mikel Arteta will one day become a very good manager, if not a great manager. I just think, and I've said this before, he took on a job which he wasn't ready for.
Yeah, and it's happened a few too many times actually. You know, we've seen these big names, obviously, you know, tactically well-minded players getting a good role, and then basically just not having, you know, the experience to
Frank
survive.
Lampard.
Yeah, I mean, you'd say Wayne Rooney as well at Derby.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone down a league essentially from Vieira as well. Is he the right man for Palace? I mean, they got a decent result against West Ham because West Ham have been going well.
But Vieira has some experience.
Yeah,
Rooney has gone down a league, okay,
Yeah.
to gain experience. He didn't go jumping into a Premier League team like Arsenal, who was in difficulties. Anyway, listen, we'll see what will happen with that. Yeah, I think we can finish on Arsenal. It's you know, no use ranting and raving. We all knew what the situation is. We're just all waiting for management change or a miracle. Anyway, so I think, you know, we can close this topic up. Okay, as painful as it is, and we're going to be talking about the next topic in our next segment. So, from me, Shah. Please put your comments underneath. Like if you like. Okay. Please subscribe. And remember, we will respond, either me or Matt, to every single comment that's made. Okay. So from me, Shah, I'm out.
for me, Matt. Yeah, please subscribe. I'm also out.